Just a wrap up of the work session and the council meeting for the City of Grand Rapids for November 23rd. The work session this afternoon touched mostly on CIP projects for 2016, about $160,000 worth of projects. Those projects were already budgeted in there, but this give the department heads one opportunity to come in at the end of the year to reinforce their needs and why they've got the request in for those capital projects. Council now has 2 weeks to continue to consider those projects and decide if it's felt and warranted that those projects should stay in the 2016 capital improvement plan, or if there's something else that we feel has a higher priority. All of them went very well this afternoon, so I'm expecting the best as we move forward with those projects. We also had Steve Georgie in from the Rams Association. He's the new director over there. It's a group of 44 school districts, townships, and cities that partner together to look out for the best interests of academic excellence across the range and how do you fund that. So the council meeting this evening was very quick, as you witnessed. We had one council report from Councilmember Blake, who sits on 2 statewide commissions, the League of Minnesota City and the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, and I believe that he will be bringing forward at some point in time resolutions that we would pass from the City of Grand Rapids supporting 2 specific areas. One on the League of Minnesota Cities is a $21 billion deficit over the next 20 years and how we can address that, how we can try to address that deficit in the area of transportation. Transportation is critical for the City of Grand Rapids, especially getting to and from Grand Rapids for seniors to other places. So we will be watching that very closely, looking at how we can support the reduction and the overall benefit of transportation issues as it affects the City of Grand Rapids. The other was on local government aid, LGA, including work from that group to try and get back to the 2002 funding levels of where the state funded cities and stuff on the reimbursement and money back to the city as it relates to local government aid. So with that, we had very few items on I think the biggest one probably is around, for about 4 or 5 years we've partnered with Sugarbrook Golf Course on a superintendent agreement. That agreement was terminated by Sugar Lake Lodge, so the golf course is out there looking at how do we fill those superintendent services out there. There was some desire from Sugar Lake Lodge that if the city gets somebody in there to do that, maybe then they could partner and use the city services. So it looks like there's potential to have what would be a flip on how that employee was employed and how a contract would structure out there. But at the end of the day, we'll get it done. We'll continue to have the fine services out at the golf course that we've become accustomed to, as Sugarbrook had become accustomed to over the last 5 years. We had a department head report from the library. They continue to amaze in the amount of programs that they offer out there. Now they've got programs for youngsters up to 7 years old, and they've got programs now out there from 7 to 12, and they got programs for teens, and they got programs for adults, and they're continually looking through their board and through the staff out there opportunities for people to get out and to be able to enjoy that library. Had over 16,000 hits, or people that were downloading books and magazines out there from a reading standpoint. It's an asset that we have in the City of Grand Rapids that certainly provides to a wider base of people throughout the community a need. If they do not have it at home, access to a computer or access to books, they can go in and they can use that library as a resource and a place to go to get the support, to get the books and what they're looking at from the standpoint of services provided through there. As you know, coming up at the December meetings, we'll be bunching them up. Our first meeting will be the second Monday in December, but then the end of the year meeting will probably follow the next Monday, so we'll be having meetings on the 2nd, 3rd. Keep in mind that we'll be having Truth in Taxation. That's an opportunity. If you've got questions on your proposed levy or what's going in, that will be finalized at our next council meeting. Also, you can come in and talk about your taxes, what the implications are. That will be sometime, I believe, early December, that we'll get that out there. But please take an opportunity to take a look at that, and if there's issues and questions, that's your opportunity to come in. With that, we will look forward to seeing everyone in 2 weeks. Have a good evening.